Now we come to the tricky part, or the trap that is in this. The question is, do we take the C pawn? And the natural thing that most individuals are going to do is they're going to jump in, grab the C pawn, and rush over, grab the A pawn, and work on promoting their A pawn. Something important to notice, though, is that the path going to C8 and then to B7 and then over to A7 is the same number of moves as taking the C7 pawn. So we don't actually save any time by taking the C7 pawn. The other important thing is that the C7 square cannot be possessed by the black king if that pawn is still there. So there is some potential value. Now, I'm going to go through and show you the correct answer here, and then I'm going to show you why we don't want to take that C pawn and the drawing position that is essential for you to know to be able to get this type of an endgame tactic in a practical game. Okay, first thing we're going to do here is move to D7. Now we're losing the C pawn, and we avoid taking the C7 pawn because we need that C7 pawn to block the king out. Now that the tactic is done, let's quickly look through and see exactly what's going to happen with the analysis engine here, just to make sure that you see how this is a winning position. Once we're here, the win is pretty easy. Just move out of the way, promote to queen, and then go gobble up this pawn. No problem whatsoever. Very easy win from here. Now, why did we leave that C pawn in place? This is what makes this particular endgame situation so interesting. Let's see what happens when we grab this C pawn. Looks like we're in the same position, just with more material here. But there's a fundamental difference. Here, we're clearly still winning, but black has a better strategy than just rushing over after our pawn. Instead, black can maneuver around the pawn, and then when we take, the A7 pawn can trap us into the corner. And now, we can only go back and forth between these two squares. In fact, if we do this too much, we could end up losing. So our only option here is to play the pawn forward and claim a stalemate because we have no legal moves left. So once again, the important part is knowing the positions that are available for black to pull out a draw here, and this is the key position here. Even with this C pawn out of the way, if this C pawn wasn't here, this would still be a draw because white just has to toggle back and forth between A7 and A8. Absolutely essential position for anyone to know for king pawn endgames. This ability to trap the king in the corner and claim a draw when